Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Imagination Megapark. In the previous episode I created this giant tilting Ferris wheel. A lot of you really liked it. I'm also really happy with how it came together. So yeah, thanks for all the nice comments that you guys left. Now in today's episode I want to focus once again on an area we haven't visited in a while, which is the lava lands. Now specifically I want to work on this top area, which I have left undetailed for quite a while now. You can see these rocks just aren't ready yet. So this area definitely needs some work. And in the end of the episode I'm also going to add a special effect here to make it look like the volcano erupts every once in a while. I'm really excited for that. Now, I also want to add several rides in this episode. One will go over here in this area, which hasn't been filled in yet. And I also want another ride to be here in the center. And I think when that's done, the lava lands are completed ride-wise. Now, before I do any building, I'm first going to name several more of the park's mechanics after people who commented on the last Imagination Megapark video. Alright, thank you so much for leaving comments on my last video, and you will now be forever inspecting rides in the park. Well, not fixing them because breakdowns are disabled, but at least you have some sort of job in the park. Alright, I will now first start by building a ride in this area here. Okay, we now have a new ride here in this area that used to be empty. Now, it's a really simple ride to make, no shoestringing required, just a little station piece here in the middle, then just some track that leads upwards on both sides, and then just put a vehicle in powered launch mode, passing station, put a few circuits, and there you go. And the most difficult thing about making this ride was actually lining up these diagonal support track pieces here. It was a bit annoying to line them up, but when you get them lined up, I think it looks great. And if you want your ride to look really cool, just add a gradient. I think it always works. I think all in all the ride just looks really cool here. Now for this area over here, I just did a little bit of landscaping. It's a bit of a lazy solution, but I don't think this area would be really good for another ride. Now, something else that I want to do in this episode is, I basically want to see if I can squeeze another ride here. I have a ride in mind. It's a simple shoestring. Basically, we will have a vehicle here, a boat vehicle and a slope, and it will splash down into the lava here, and then it will automatically retract back to the station. I'm going to try and make a ride like that over here. The space is pretty tight, but I think I can squeeze it in. Alright, here you can see our new ride, which I named Lava Skimmer. As you can see, it's just a little boat which splashes down into the lava, then gets retracted back upwards, and then it goes for another cycle. And after 2 cycles, it returns back to the station here. But yeah, it's a simple shoestring. If we look underground, let's see if we can find it. So let's quickly check underground. So here's actually the station of the ride. Here's the front vehicle. So it gets launched from the station here, goes up this vertical track, and then gravity pulls it back to the station again. So yeah, really simple shoestring, but I think it looks really nice. Now first I thought about putting it over here, but then the whole ride is blocked from 2 angles. So I placed it on this position instead, and here we can at least see part of the ride from all angles. Right, with this ride built here, there's 2 more things that I want to do now. First, this area desperately needs a restaurant somewhere, because the only restaurant in the whole lava land is over here, also the only toilet. So yeah, it would be good to also provide the guests with some food and drinks up here. Maybe I'll make 2 restaurants on here. We should have plenty of space for that. And when the restaurants are done, I will also do some landscaping here. There's a few areas here that still need some finishing touches. And here in the middle, I want to make something special, which we will use again later in the episode. Alright, I've now built some restaurants here on the volcano summit. So guests who want to cool down here, well, they're in they have bad luck, because here they can buy either hot soup or hot coffee. And here in this with this restaurant, guests can either get some hot chocolate or some hot dogs. So yeah, plenty of choice for the guests. Now I'm here in the middle. I did a little bit more landscaping, and as you can see now, there's this big hole in the middle, and that's actually where I want to make it look like the volcano is erupting. So I'm going to make some rides with some vehicles to make it look like there's lava shooting up over here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is make some rides that simply launch up, reach partway up through the hole, and then go back again. So there will be some lava that doesn't really make it out, and I think that will make for a nice effect. So that's what I'm going to try and make first. Alright, I think this effect is really cool. Yeah, maybe you can already hear it in my voice. I'm super happy with how this looks. Yeah, this is the eruption effect that I was after. So it's really nice to see that it works nicely. Now I'm going to make it so that it doesn't erupt this often. I'll probably play with it a bit with the timing. And there's something else which I want to add. That's whenever this happens, I also want some fireballs to fly off and bounce around in the rest of the lava lands. I think that would also be a really cool effect. So yeah, I'm going to make another row of tracks below here. And I'm going to make it such that with a separate line of tracks I will be able to time all these other effects. Now I'm going to make quite a few extra tracks, so it will become a big mess, but eventually all the tracks will be made invisible, and then it should all work fine, hopefully. And I also hope that this fireball effect will look nice when it's done. Alright, I've been placing tracks for several hours now. Now, I've made most of the tracks invisible, and I believe I've gotten the effect that I wanted. We should see it anytime now. Here we go. So you could see these vehicles we already had that went vertical, and as soon as that happened, lots of smaller fireballs shot out as well in all directions over the volcano. Yeah, I thought that was a super cool effect. Let's just quickly take a look underground. Now, most of the single rail coaster tracks we had have been made invisible, but even without those, it's still a big spaghetti here. Now, I've made some Wild Mouse coaster tracks just to time everything correctly. So here we see a couple of these single rail coaster cars. So these are the fireballs. Here we see a few more. Here's some more. Here's some more. And here's the big eruption in the middle. And these 5 Wild Mouse coaster trains, they basically go to these stations, and since they are synchronized, they can only leave once these Wild Mouse trains have arrived here. And that using this, I just make sure that all these effects happen at the correct time. Yeah, I'm super happy with how this effect turned out. And with this Wild Mouse here, I can set how often it happens. So it now runs at the minimum wait time of, let's say, 36 seconds. So then every 36 seconds this effect can happen. Yeah, I think it looks super cool. And it's probably not very safe for the guests here to be walking around with all these fireballs jumping around them. But yeah, that's Imagination Megapark for you. I think I'll set it to a little bit shorter time so that this can happen more often. Right, several more people joined my Patreon channel. Thank you so much for that. And in this episode I'm going to add one of these patrons as an entertainer to the park. And I think here on top of this SCAD tower is a great spot for an entertainer. I hope you're not afraid of heights. Alright, James Cockcroft, you will be the person who will be sending guests down into the net. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your spot here in the park. It's nice and visible. And thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Now, if you're watching this video, you also want to have a cool spot in the park as an entertainer and support my channel, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. And the support is really appreciated. Alright, let's quickly go over the things that were built in this episode. So first off, I built this ride here called Wrecking Ball. It's like this rotor drop vehicle that you can think of being on a big arm, which is invisible now, because something like that cannot really be made in OpenRC2. Over here I made this boat ride, which splashes down into the lava. Kind of silly actually how the splash looks. No, not really sure if we're going to see it in action now. Let's just wait one moment. Here we go. Yeah, the splash looks kind of silly, especially when it goes backwards, but I don't really mind it too much. I think it looks funny. After that, I made a little restaurant over here, and I also made a little restaurant on the other side over here. And finally, I spent several hours landscaping, and then several more hours doing all these tracks below ground to cause an eruption here at the top of the volcano. Alright, I'm super happy with how this eruption turned out. I think it's a great addition to the lava lands, and definitely something that makes it more complete. Alright, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked watching me build, please consider giving this video a like. It would really help out my channel, and I would love to hear in the comments what you think of this video. And if you want to see more of these videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.